Welcome to RPG Blokes, where old school gamers and new adventurers come together at the same table. Today we're going to be talking about dice superstitions, and they say fortune favours the brave, but in tabletop RPGs it often favours the dice. So we're diving into the weird, wonderful, downright bizarre world of dice superstitions. Introducing the RPG Blokes, and my name is Mark, I'm your host. Today I'm going to start with Stephen. He takes his dice very seriously. No dice will be used unless they're passed a vigorous test, each requiring at least 1,000 rolls in real-world conditions, and he is seeking manufacturing imperfections. I suppose I could have just cut that short and just said he's a fucking cheat.
You could have done, but it wouldn't be true. Scientific.
Okay, Barry, the dice goblin, hooked on dice like a crackhead on coke.
It's close.
Close, okay. Which is your drug of preference then?
I'm not going to say that on air.
Okay. John, the dice specialist amongst us, and treats his dice like he would a fine lady. He caresses them. He provides them comfort in his black leather bag.
Yep.
Takes them out with pride before having a bit of roly-poly.
We're still talking about dice, aren't we?
Yeah, it's all fair. Look, I can't see any kind of denial on his face in any way, shape, or form. Smile.
So I'm going to interrogate John a little bit here because he was well ahead of the rest of us on this. The no touch rule. You had a very, very stringent, kind of almost aggressive,
almost violence.
I had a particular set of dice. If I needed that on a percentile, if I needed one particular number, I rolled it. I was looking at you and told you I'd made it, and I'd made it. Could feel it. It was weird. That was that one particular set.
So the touching of the dice by anybody other than you?
Hey, all my dice now are open to.
They are now, but what? So what's changed? Why have you? Is it because
I
people
lost that set?
It was just that set.
It's not because you've grown as a person. Oh, hell no. Have you met me?
It was quite excessive, I thought, at the time. You were very, very serious about it. Okay, so there's some sense of spirituality with...
If you can feel the damn things, then yeah, I would say so, but I've not had that since. So.
Yeah.
I remember those dice. That's what I wanted to say, yeah. I remember in fear, just in case one rolled near me.
It was fucking extreme, mate.
People keep talking about stuff I did when I was younger and I don't remember shit, which is really weird because I wasn't a druggie or nothing. I should know this.
I was going to give you No, I won't give you dice back.
How about the pre-roll test? Barry, even you have got to be gooey of this. Just making, before you know you've got a big roll coming up, just casually rolling your dice a couple of times before your turn comes around.
I wouldn't say I do it just before a big roll's coming up, but even when it's not my turn, I have sort of got my dice in my hand, one of them probably, and I'm sort of dropping it in. But no, not really.
You're not registering the score, and you haven't analysed what's happening there.
Mark, have you ever known me to analyse anything?
Let me analyse it for you. What you're doing is you're testing the dice, and even subconsciously, you're registering what the scores are, and you're stopping at a certain point and then waiting for your turn. That's what's happening. So you are, in fact...
Wait, it sounds to me, and I just want to check, it sounds to me like you're implying that you can somehow warm a dice up.
Yes, you can.
For the love of God.
No, it's a serious thing. It's called a warm-up.
It's a serious thing.
And you charge them for the roll. So you wake them up by charging them in that manner. And if you get a series of bad rolls, then you know statistically, like, the next roll is likely to be good.
Also, that's not how statistics and probability work. The dice doesn't have memory. I've got to say, your eldest is the absolute worst for that.
Yeah.
Hang them out for about half a dozen times beforehand to get them going.
It works. He wouldn't do it unless it works.
Okay. Much as I would love to say it does, but... Do you do it, Mark?
Yeah, I do. I do all of these things.
Well, then it doesn't work.
Imagine what my dice rolls would be like if I didn't do it. Well, you don't do it, Stephen. You wouldn't touch that.
Well, because I think you can waste a roll, if I'm honest.
Stephen's kind of agreeing with me, but I don't know how. I'm still able to disagree with him. I don't get it.
Exactly. So the roll is pretty much predetermined what you're going to roll, and I don't want to waste a 0-1 by warming it up, because then the dice would go in the dice jar for letting me down.
Yeah, because those dice on your hand, the next time you roll those dice, the result is predetermined.
Yeah.
What if someone else touches them? Go on.
Yeah, you can touch my dice, John. It's fine. But
So how do you deal with that? I mean, you're not suggesting that you can think differently, behave differently, and change the outcome of that predetermined roll. You believe that roll is predetermined.
The next roll you're rolling is the roll you're rolling, and if you waste it,
so you can't actually disagree with that. He's just wasted a very good roll. That much is true, right? If he's rolled his dice too early, he's
That's only true if you believe that each dice roll is predetermined, and from like a philosophical standpoint, that can't, and from a mathematical standpoint, it just isn't true. They don't have a memory.
The next time you roll the dice, you're going to roll it in exactly the same way as you were going to roll it, because it's the next time you roll the dice.
Counter that with actual maths. In first edition DMG, they actually did a graph of randomly rolled dice, and it came out as a bell curve. So the probability, it should have been flat across the board, like you're saying, but it actually came out that the middle somehow was more probable than either end.
Then the sample was too small.
Or they were rolling two dice.
It was at least 100. Okay.
Do you know what I mean? It's like if you rolled it 1,000,000 times, all of those little bell curves that do happen, that are statistical anomalies, when you stretch it out over enough rolls, will look flat. And especially for, how many years you guys have been playing, like I would expect the line of your dice, except for you, Mark, to look pretty flat.
But hold on, your argument doesn't hold water now. I think I've found a flaw in your thinking, because you believe that the dice is not predetermined. So you're saying that there's no way that you can roll the dice 1 second, wait a second, and it would be the same roll. They're saying there was no.
No, I'm not.
You're saying it's going to be a different roll. In fact, if you wait a second, what you're saying.
Well, no, I'm saying
every second you wait, in fact, it's a different roll.
That's what Barry says.
I'm saying that we don't know what it's going to be, and which is the point of it, gentlemen.
You don't.
Like
That's why you should wait.
Like literally, the whole point of rolling dice in our game is that we don't know what we're going to roll.
It was always going to be what it was.
No, not necessarily.
Well, in which case, why?
No, because now, like honestly, like now you're getting into like we really have. Throughout my life, people are, the way that D&D is portrayed, it's like these kind of slightly weird, unhinged, and now, after all these years, I'm finally thinking, there might be something to that.
We've worn you down.
It's not too late to get out, I suppose. So we're not going to convince Barry that any of this really matters at all. But as far as role-playing games is concerned, it's quite a big aspect of the psychology of playing it.
When I was reffing Dragon Warriors, there's a particular orange D20 I've got. They came up with this whole mythology about it, so much so that I could just place it there.
And intimidate them.
I never started that. Nothing.
Yeah.
But it came up organically, unless they heard it from you guys.
No.
We just said, don't touch his dice, is what we said.
It's in the human psyche, isn't it? I think it's a natural
Okay,
thing.
so we've come from a race of people that, they used to throw knuckle bones to predict the future, that cards with pictures on them, watching the stuff. Maybe it's a hardwired DNA thing, or, need to believe.
Listen, if you guys get some joy out of believing that your dice have betrayed you, then I'm not going to take that away from you. But I think you're all really fucking weird, because it's just probabilities, and if a dice rolls badly for like what seems like weeks, it's just a statistical anomaly, and it will come good again. Like, I never, ever, ever change my dice. I don't have any dice superstitions. I don't particularly have favourite dice. I have dice that I like more because of their aesthetics, but they all roll by and large random. You're all nutters.
Well,
it's going badly sometimes, and we're all looking at you and we're saying, for Christ's sake, change the die. It's like a moth to a flame.
I don't have to change my behaviour to modify your fucking beliefs.
but you might roll better.
He does enjoy being in the minority, doesn't he?
I don't know if I am in the minority. Like, I think it's a fairly even split between people. Like, don't get me wrong, right? Okay, so now if I see a magpie on its own, I will salute that magpie or say, good morning, Mr. Magpie, where's your wife? And now I don't do that because I believe it's bad luck not to. I do it because I think it's quite good fun to do. Like, I don't, if I miss one, I don't think, well, that's me done for God knows how many years of bad luck.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing. That is the path to superstition.
Well, no, but it's not. And this is exactly what I'm saying. If you guys enjoy being superstitious about it, fill your boots, but don't pretend there is some kind of fucking spiritual dice god and that piece of acrylic or plastic has somehow betrayed you, because that's the way to the cult.
I don't think there's anything enjoyable about being superstitious about dice.
So why would you put yourself
Because we have to, Harry.
No, you don't. You're making a choice. The choice that I've made for myself is to put myself through the whims of probability. Now, I like a bet on the horses, and, I've been known to frequent a casino. And look, listen, the only thing that's come close to making me believe that not necessarily that dice are statistically unlucky, that people are, is watching you roll dice, Mark. Because you have the shockingly worst rolls. And again, the argument I'm making is you keep changing your dice. Things ain't got any better for you.
I have just recently, I think.
Oh, you've got 1 or 2 sessions. Whoop-de-doo.
Well, it takes a time to get out of the rut. You've got to find the right set.
I'm curious, I think you might have been in the rut for as long as I've known you, which is, 5-6 years?
Yeah, so that's not statistically possible, is it? That's an anomaly. How do you explain it?
You need to go for 1,000 years for it to even out. I do find myself like kind of amazed that one of the billion kind of online gambling websites hasn't come up with a gambling game based on like the traditional 7-piece D&D dice set. And especially now that gambling is so much online, slot machines, poker, stupid variants of poker, etc., etc. I've never seen one.
Well, yeah, I say about monetizing. I'm sure someone will probably offer the service to cleanse your dice, someone like that, like a spiritualist. There must be someone that does that. They said they could take your dice, post them to them, or they come around your house and then they say a bit.
Listen,
it must be. There absolutely must be.
Honestly, if any, I'll do that for anyone. That's no problem.
Yeah, but
send me your dice.
How would you cleanse the dice? Just out of interest, tell us how it would happen. I might use you.
So what I would do is take their money, do nothing to their dice, and send them back, because I'm just assuming these people are gullible enough.
Tell us how much.
But as they come back, it's about psychology, isn't it?
Yeah.
We would think your dice are better, so they might well be.
So if a dice consistently rolls poorly, some players believe it has betrayed them, and they will put it in a dice jail, which is a separate container or box to punish it, and then swap it out with another dice. Has anyone ever been guilty of doing that? I mean, we've all seen. John has. So what form does your dice jail take?
So it was actually one of these rando prezzies that I got one year. And it's just a little wooden chair and a little dunce cap, if people remember the old comics where they're allowed to do those. It's just that. It was done by Lynx, I think. It looks like
you didn't make the cap yourself. You bought it.
Didn't even have to shrink one of my old ones or nothing. Just came with. I've used it once or twice, but as it's about the same size as my.
And so to get into the mentality of somebody who uses a dice jail, what the fuck?
No, fair.
Honestly, it's journalism at its best.
No, I've used it like 3 times because I got given it. But not, if something's consistently rolling iffy, I know it's nonsense, but I will put it back in the bag and use another one.
Yeah.
Disappointment.
Would you ever entertain using such a thing? Check out RPG Blokes Plus. It's our premium service where we give you the opportunity to help pay our bills. And we guarantee you an episode every week. Exclusive live plays and interviews. Now that's got to be worth £3 of anyone's money.
RPG Blokes Plus. Regular episodes for a regular you. Certainly get annoyed with dice with their roll badly.
A cool one.
But the jail itself sounds a bit of a marketing ploy, if I'm perfectly honest, because you can just chuck your dice across the room potentially, or even stick it back in your bag and never see it again. That's what I tend to do.
That is a jail,
I technically you're right, but it's free.
I mean, you're being a bit highbrow about it. You're putting it into a dice jail.
Yeah, technically, I suppose in the spirit of things, it's a dice jail, but I didn't pay for it. I just chuck it back in my bag.
So it's not been commercialised. Your
No.
tendency to be weird with your dice is not. Somebody's found a way to make money out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I like to keep it quite private with my weirdness with the dice. But I do get annoyed with dice.
If a die rolls consistently bad, would you get rid of it? Would you destroy it? Hit it with a sledgehammer, burn it, or just banish it for good? Yeah. Is that something?
No. Well, I'll be tempted to, for sure. It's a dice after all I've spent money on, so I'd probably keep it and then just put it to the back, and then probably about a month's time I've forgotten completely it's rolled badly, and I'll try again, then realise what's happened. I'm using that dice again, and then the cycle would repeat. I don't think I'd destroy it.
Well, no, wait, hold on. I have a question. So what would happen if you put that dice away for a month, pulled it out again, and you'd forgotten it was rolling badly, and it just started rolling kind of
Well, I wouldn't remember.
Well, then...
That doesn't happen.
Do you know what? Of all the stuff we've discussed, I really, really, really didn't see this as being the most contentious, but
it's more random.
I don't remember it was bad again. Oh yes, that's why I didn't use that.
If you believe what we believe, that doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. It's always bad.
I think if you have a positive mental attitude, you are more likely to remember your successes than your failures. Well, but and I've talked about this in the past. One of the reasons I think that I don't sweat about dice superstition is because I quite enjoy a bit of failure within game. Some of the most significantly shit dice rolls that I've had have actually led on sometimes to 2 or 3 really epic sessions of role play because you're role playing, getting yourself out of a terrible situation.
So the thought of having dice to really try and negate that at all times is not really crossing your mind.
That's a really important part of the game for me. The things going wrong. You're telling a story, and it would be an incredibly boring story if our adventurers walked out of their front door, faced no adversity along the way, succeeded in absolutely everything they tried to accomplish, and then
But sometimes it's more fun when it goes wrong for someone else. If your dice are good, theirs are crap. So great, it's fun to watch.
So none of us are obsessed. Apart from John in the past was.
Yes.
You would quite freely lend each other your dice and not feel that.
To be clear, if I found that set again, that's it. No one's touching them. Not done it since.
I'll be fascinated to know where they've been all this time.
And I'd be
lost them on a train.
I'd be fascinated to know how many other people have touched them in the interim.
They're working in some sort of sweatshop somewhere. Some dirty casino have got them.
I think they've been liberated. Somebody saw that the dice abuse. They were free.
They're selling it up somewhere.
Legimancers for freedom. No.
The curse. Some players are just cursed, and I think you'd already described me as being that. And I do feel sometimes I go through periods of time where there is a curse on me, and I can't make a decent roll to save my life, my character's life.
There's a name for it. Wheaton. Will Wheaton.
Yeah, okay.
It's the Will Wheaton condition or something. Yeah.
It does happen. Has anyone else ever been in that zone? Have you ever felt that for a long period? Yeah.
When I'm reffing Shadowrun, especially, you're supposed to put a challenge there for the players, but you can't do that if you're just whiffing every single damn time.
That's why some DMs roll behind the screen so they can...
I'm playing it online, so I've got the trade down. Technically, I could, but no. I think they'd just hear me swear and they'd figure it out.
Yeah, and I think Barry's touched on this already, and the idea of rolling behind a screen for me as a DM, that takes the enjoyment away from me because I do like the randomness that dice present to the game, and taking the odd little advantage from maybe a manufactured D20 that's doing you a service. Yeah, I think that's about as far as I would go. There are some people that have brought loaded dice to the table and try to get away with that.
I saw a video on social media recently of a woman that sells loaded dice, but she talked about them it was quite interesting. She says, yes, this, because of the way the numbers are set on the dice, and even a loaded dice won't, like if you have a loaded dice, it won't roll let's keep it simple, the D6, it won't roll a 6 every time. It's still random enough that it will nearly, do you know what I mean? And so because of the numbers that are around the 20, it will roll a lot of 20s, but it'll also roll a lot of 3 and 4s because they're kind of whatever numbers they were, because they're like adjacent to the 20.
But that is cheating at the
Of
highest
course it
level.
is.
isn't
yeah,
it?
of course
we've
it's-
designed
No,
it as
but-
that. But if
again-
it's just a manufacturing default, and then it
that's-
just
we are going to
Yeah.
keep circling back to the fact that it wasn't intended to be dodgy
absolutely
means
massive.
it isn't dodgy.
Well, if
right,
you bought
okay.
the dice in good faith, and all it does is roll a lot of 20s, you think, well,
So I
okay.
suppose the question would be: are you continuing to use it in good faith?
Well, lucky enough, the D20 I had rolls low, so it was great for Dragon Warriors and stuff, but rubbish for D.
Well, no, and
for
that's
D&D.
that's an interesting thing as well, isn't it? Because it's like I do tease Mark about his dice rolls, but I do firmly believe that it's just like I said. If you roll enough, you will have peaks and troughs, and when you stretch it out long enough, it'll look linear. But we changed systems recently where the objective was suddenly to roll lower. And somehow it was still shit.
Well, he's cursed. That
You
is
can
the
see
curse.
a cursed player there before your very eyes. The longer you play, the more we're going to wear you down on this. Or the dice will wear you down. The game will wear you down.
I don't think you know me as well as you think you do.
Yeah, we all pay homage to it to some extent. And I think somebody that doesn't do that at all is probably not. Yeah, it's a bit, weird. Call us weird.
One slight thing: there are people producing deliberately other dice to reflect a mechanism. So there's one that they do a D20, but it like 0 to 19, and it's meant for when people are cursed or something like that.
Yeah.
So technically, in certain systems like D&D, you can't actually roll a natural 20 ever while you're under the effect of that. So at the moment, fifth edition does like a roll with disadvantage, which is almost as bad, but you can still break it by getting that. But it's worth looking around for jinky dice as long as people know why you're using them and when, not just slip them into the mix. That's wrong. But yeah, keep an eye out for those weird little buggers.
Dice are just lovely objects. They just are. They rattle in your hands. They rattle when you throw them. You get, there are people out there making really gorgeous ones, but some of the ones that you can get for £2.99 are lovely in their own way as well.
They're one of the joys of the
Yeah,
hobby.
they absolutely are.
Yeah, so enjoying them in whichever way you like, really. And
But some are better than others, yeah.
but you gain enjoyment from watching everybody else sort of panic or worry about what their dice are doing.
I do find it mildly amusing when people are like, "No, I'm swapping dice," especially when like the second they're like, "This dice is shit," and then it turns out that the dice they've swapped it for is shitter. Like that really makes me smile because I'm like, you should roll the other one, see what happens. Oh, look at that, it's bigger. It doesn't.
You're so stubborn, honestly. Sometimes we've seen you just hit a rut, and
Can't you just be wrong in silence?
Can't I just be
everyone's
wrong
going,
in silence?
"Somebody help him! Somebody take his dice away." Make sure
It'll-
it'll
Agree to disagree,
stuff will
showing
come
on this
up, I'm
dice
sure,
business.
Yeah. Yes, we've reached the end of this. Because, as you can see, it's quite a passionate subject, and as soon as you start to play, you'll be embroiled in all of these complexities. Let me tell you. So, Stephen, I've got a quote.
Oh, sorry.
I bet you're not prepared, are you?
No.
Okay, here we go.
So, a rabbit's foot may bring luck, but it didn't work for the rabbit. So let's
Slice and dice.